What's up, Lions Nation? Welcome back to Lions News Fan Report, your home for the freshest updates, breaking news, and insider analysis on our beloved Detroit Lions. Today I've got something special brewing that could shape the future of our secondary for years to come, and trust me, you're going to want to stick around for every single detail, because this is the kind of move that separates contenders from champions. So here we are, Lions fans, sitting pretty as one of the most elite teams in the entire NFL. We've watched this franchise transform from the laughingstock of the league into an absolute powerhouse that strikes fear into opponents every single Sunday. Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell have built something truly special in Detroit. And the way they've scouted talent and constructed this roster is nothing short of masterful. But here's the thing about championship organizations. They never stop improving, they never stop looking ahead, and they never stop hunting for that next game-changing talent that can push them over the top. Right now, as we're gearing up for that massive Sunday night football showdown against Philadelphia, the Lions scouting department isn't taking a day off. While we're all anxiously waiting for kickoff, the front office is doing what the best organizations do. They're already looking toward the future, specifically the 2026 NFL Draft. And let me tell you, there's one particular player who should have every Lions fan absolutely buzzing with excitement about what could be coming to Detroit. Before I get into the specifics, let me paint a picture for you. The Lions and Eagles have established themselves as two of the premier talent evaluators in the entire league. Both franchises have this uncanny ability to identify players who fit their system perfectly, guys who do their job at an elite level without needing the spotlight. That's the Detroit way, right? We don't need flashy names. We need players who execute, who compete, and who elevate everyone around them. That philosophy has turned us into one of the most feared teams in football, and it's exactly why the player I'm about to discuss fits this organization like a glove. Now, the secondary has been solid for us this season, but we all know that in today's NFL, you can never have enough quality defensive backs. The passing game dominates this league, and if you want to win championships, you need corners who can lock down receivers, who can eliminate entire portions of the field, and who can make quarterbacks think twice before testing them. We've seen what happens when you have elite corner play in this league. It changes everything. It allows your pass rush to get home, it gives your safeties freedom to roam, and it puts offenses in impossible situations where there's simply nowhere to throw the football. Saturday's college football slate is absolutely loaded with talent, and the Lions scouting staff will be watching closely. But there's one cornerback who stands head and shoulders above the rest, a player who has been turning heads all season long and who has NFL scouts salivating at his potential. This guy transferred from Virginia Tech after his junior season and was one of the hottest names in the transfer portal. And all he's done since arriving at his new program is prove exactly why everyone was so excited about him. We're talking about a corner who currently ranks 5th among over 900 qualifying corners in the entire country according to advanced metrics. 5th out of 900. Let that sink in for a second. This player embodies everything the Lions look for in a prospect. He's technically sound, he's disciplined, he understands leverage and positioning, and most importantly, he does his job at an elite level, play after play after play. He's not out there gambling for interceptions or trying to make SportsCenter highlights. He's locking down his assignment and making life miserable for opposing quarterbacks. Sound familiar? That's the exact profile Brad Holmes has targeted throughout his tenure in Detroit, and it's worked out pretty darn well for us, hasn't it? Now here's where things get really interesting for Lions fans. This cornerback is currently projected as a top 10 talent in the 2026 NFL Draft. I know what you're thinking. The Lions won't be picking in the top 10 because we're going to be deep in the playoffs, hopefully making a Super Bowl run. And you're absolutely right to think that way. But here's the thing about Brad Holmes. He's not afraid to be aggressive when he identifies a player who can be a cornerstone piece for this franchise. We've seen him trade up before when he's locked in on a target, and if this corner continues to dominate the way he has been, don't be surprised if Detroit starts making calls on draft day to move up and secure his services. Let me give you some specifics on what makes this guy so special. He's got 1 interception on the season, but that number doesn't tell the full story. He's tied his career best with 8 pass deflections this year, which shows you that quarterbacks are testing him, and he's consistently winning those battles. The ball production will come, but what matters most is that receivers aren't getting open against him. That's the mark of an elite corner, when offenses have to game plan around avoiding you because they know they can't beat you one-on-one. This Saturday, he'll be suiting up for LSU as the Tigers take on Arkansas at 12:45 Eastern Time. If you want to see what could potentially be the future of the Lions secondary, I highly recommend tuning into that game. Watch how he handles his assignments, watch his footwork, watch how he mirrors receivers at the line of scrimmage, and watch how he competes on every single snap. That's the kind of tape that gets Brad Holmes excited, and it's the kind of player who can come in and make an immediate impact at the NFL level. Now, I want to be realistic with you all. Acquiring this talent won't be easy. If Mansour Delane continues on his current trajectory, he's going to be a hot commodity come draft day. Multiple teams will be eyeing him, and the Lions would likely need to make a significant move up the board to land him. But think about what he could bring to this defense. Imagine pairing him with the talent we already have in our secondary. Imagine the flexibility it would give Aaron Glenn's defense. Imagine having a corner who can erase the opponent's number 1 receiver and allow everyone else to play more aggressively. That's the kind of addition that can take a great defense and make it elite. The beauty of Delane's game is that it aligns perfectly with the Lions' defensive philosophy. We don't need corners who are going to freelance or take unnecessary risks. We need guys who understand their assignment, execute it at a high level, and trust the system. Delane has shown throughout his time at LSU that he's exactly that type of player. He's disciplined, he's sound, and he's consistently excellent. Those are the traits that translate to the NFL, and those are the traits that Brad Holmes has prioritized since day one. Let's also talk about the bigger picture here. The Lions have built something sustainable in Detroit, something that can compete for championships year after year. Part of maintaining that level of excellence is constantly infusing the roster with young, talented players who can contribute immediately and grow into cornerstone pieces. Delane represents exactly that type of opportunity. He's got the talent to start from day one, he's got the work ethic and character that fits the Lions culture, and he's got the ceiling to become one of the premier corners in the entire NFL. I'm genuinely excited about the possibility of Delane wearing Honolulu blue and silver. This is the kind of move that championship organizations make, identifying elite talent early and being willing to be aggressive to secure it. Brad Holmes has earned our trust with his draft track record, and if he decides that Mansour Delane is worth trading up for, I'm all in. This front office has proven time and time again that they know what they're doing, and they've built a roster that's capable of competing with anyone in this league. So as we watch the Lions take on the Eagles this Sunday night, keep in mind that the work never stops in this organization. While we're focused on this massive game, the scouting department is already laying the groundwork for future success. That's what separates good teams from great ones, and it's why I'm so optimistic about where this franchise is headed. The future is incredibly bright in Detroit, and players like Mansour Delane could be a huge part of that future. All right, Lions Nation, I want to hear from you. What do you think about the possibility of Detroit trading up to land Mansour Delane in the 2026 draft? Do you think he's the kind of corner who can take our secondary to the next level? Would you be comfortable with Brad Holmes being aggressive and moving up the board to secure him? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because I love hearing what you all think about these potential moves. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want to stay on top of all the latest Lions news, rumors, and analysis, make sure you smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Share this video with your fellow Lions fans because this is the kind of content that gets us all fired up about the future of this franchise. I'll be back soon with more exclusive updates and in-depth analysis on everything Detroit Lions. One Pride, let's go get that championship!